When I was getting ready to come to Thailand, most of my studying was trying to decide where I was gonna be. Minus you wanting to stay in a very rural part of Thailand, there's probably about 5 or 6 choices that you're gonna choose from. And today we are going over 2 of those, Bangkok and Pattaya. Why I chose Pattaya, why you might want to, why you might not want to. Let's do it. Now, whether you're a budget backpacker or you're just starting your expat journey and you're looking to move to Thailand, no matter what your plans are, of course, you're going to need a base of operations. If you are planning to jump to Thailand, you've got quite a few options of where you want to live, but today we're just focusing on 2 of the main plausible choices that you will be looking at. The 2 that I was pretty torn between when I was getting ready to come to Thailand myself, Pattaya or Bangkok. Now, while there is a long list of things that they both have in common that you'll be able to find in either Pattaya or Bangkok, no matter which you choose, there are of course a few stark differences that I think could help influence your decision. Either way, we're going to talk about some of the reasons why I chose Pattaya over Bangkok, as well as plenty of the reasons why Bangkok might be the spot for you, all depending on what you're looking for and what you want out of your Thailand experience. Now, right off the bat, of course, Bangkok is the capital of Thailand. It is the biggest metropolitan area. So if you are about the big city life, if you like the hustle and bustle, that is one thing you are definitely going to enjoy about Bangkok. Just in general, a lot more going on, a lot more people, a lot more businesses. If you are looking for work here, it might be a little bit easier to find a job in Bangkok. You will at least have some more options. But coming with that, of course, it is more crowded. Traffic is a bigger deal in Bangkok, even though it is a pretty big deal no matter where you go in Thailand. And for the most part, just anywhere you go in Bangkok is going to be a lot more crowded. Now, Pattaya, on the other hand, definitely has more of that beach town vibe. Even though Pattaya is decently big itself, the traffic can still get pretty bad at times, but it is nothing like Bangkok. So they both have their charm in that respect. Now, with Bangkok being the much bigger of the 2, just like anywhere else in the world, usually those major metropolitans do end up being quite a bit more expensive than the outlying cities. And this is true with Pattaya versus Bangkok as well. Pattaya in general is just a little bit cheaper. Now, that's not to say you can't enjoy the finer things in life in Pattaya as well. If you have a higher budget for accommodation and you want more of a bougie spot, you can totally find that in Pattaya as well. And with Bangkok as well, if you want somewhere more budget friendly, you can get into the outlying neighborhoods, the suburbs, so to say, and things will be a little bit cheaper. But overall, just as a general rule, Bangkok, when it comes to accommodation, food, just daily life things, it's gonna be a little bit more expensive. Not drastically, depending on what you're doing. If you do get out of the major tourist areas off of Sukhumvit, places like that in Bangkok, things can be a little bit more even. But if you are on a tighter budget, I would definitely recommend Pattaya. That was one of the main reasons why I chose it. It was just a little bit easier to find things that were in my price range. Now, one thing that is similar with both Pattaya and Bangkok, although I would say Bangkok probably has it going on a little bit more frequently. As you can see around me here, there is essentially always something going on. There's always festivals, events, so no matter where you are, it's gonna be pretty easy to find things to do. Although if you're in Bangkok especially, there's a little bit more variety, so pretty much no matter what you're into, there's probably gonna be a little bit for you to do. Now, one thing, after living in Pattaya and visiting Bangkok quite a few times, one thing that I wish I would have taken more account in is just the accessibility of different types of food in Bangkok. With it just being a much bigger city, you have lots of more options, especially when it comes to international food. If it's something that you like to eat, the chances of not being able to find it in Bangkok are very slim. Of course, you can find great Thai food in Pattaya as well as Bangkok, but when it comes to that international stuff, there's just a lot more restaurants, a lot more options, a lot more chances for you to find a place that you really enjoy. So if you are a foodie, that is something to consider. And with Bangkok being much bigger, there are a lot more night markets and things of that sort that you will have access to. Just in general, a lot more options than you might have in the significantly smaller Pattaya. Something to also consider if you are really torn between Pattaya or Bangkok, you're having a really difficult time making a decision, keep in mind that they are only about an hour and a half, 2 hours up and down the road from each other. So no matter where you're living, it is still very accessible to spend time in either. Maybe you want to be in Bangkok and you want to come down and have a beach weekend, or vice versa, if you're in Pattaya and want to go up to the city for a weekend, that is totally doable. It's totally feasible. You can take taxis to and from both. So don't worry, you are not super committed to one or the other, whichever you choose. Now, whether you're planning on Pattaya or Bangkok, if you are considering more travel around Thailand, that is something to take into account. Accessibility to the airports is going to be great if you are in Bangkok. If you're close to any of the sky trains, you can make it all the way to the airport. You don't have to sit in traffic, anything like that. Now, that's not to say if you're in Pattaya, you don't have access to anything. Pattaya has an airport as well. It can just be a little bit harder to find direct flights sometimes. And also, if you're in Pattaya, you have very close access to Rayong in Trat province, which in Rayong, there is Koh Samet, which is a beautiful island, and then you go down to Trat, and that is Koh Chang, one of the most famous islands here. So if you're looking for beach getaways, that is definitely accessible if you're in Pattaya. If you are planning a lot of travel, especially in Thailand, being in Bangkok, kind of in that central hub, can be really convenient and just make things in general a little bit easier. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. I hope I answered some of your questions if you are in the Bangkok versus Pattaya debate. If you have any more, feel free to drop them down in the comments and I will be sure to let you know if I know. And like we always say, I hope you guys have a great day. We'll catch you in the next one.